A warm welcome to all of you. Today's webinar will focus on systems thinking, agility, and creativity. So I'm Myburgh. I'm owner and founder of the Time Factory, author of 2 coaching books, and my aim is to make you a better leader. 84% of executives that they polled acknowledge that innovation is extremely important to their growth strategy. But a staggering 94% were unsatisfied with their innovation performance. There was something that came up during your presentation, Susan, when you were talking about thinking slow, fast. And I couldn't help but think about the book that Daniel Kahneman wrote. He was a Nobel Prize winner. And his book was called Thinking Fast and Slow. So what he said was his research shows that we use 2 thinking systems in our work environment. So system 1 is impulsive, automatic, intuitive. System 2 is thoughtful, deliberate, calculating. So system 1 is sort of a legacy of our evolutionary past. You know, it's inherent to your survival advantages to make quick, rapid actions and judgments and in specific circumstances, obviously. Now, fast thinking, again, is your system 2 thinking. So that is what we think when we visualize the part of our brain responsible for our individual decision making. There where reasoning is happening and beliefs is shared. So it deals with conscious activities of the mind, you know, your self-control, choices, more deliberate focus and attention. But what I find is, and perhaps I want to ask you if you guys find the same thing, is that we've moved into a fast-thinking world. What we expect of the CEO, of the executive, is quick actions and deliberations, you know, no deliberation, very quick decision making. And there's a lot of mistakes that's happening because of that. It came out of Daniel Kahneman's research as well. But why this thing that senior executives and CEOs must have the solution on the tip of their fingers? Why can't they spend a bit of slow thinking?
Yeah, I think that for me also relates back to the paradigms we have around certain things, you know, and I think it's important to also relate it to the complexity that we are living, you know, our life of complexity, because you cannot look at anything with just one lens. So when you look, for instance, at organizations and how these people are either the leadership challenge or whatever to push, the leader must have all the answers, we know that cannot be. In a time and age of information, and where we've got younger generations that learn different things very fast. So you can never just have one lens to say it will only be this or that. And over and above that, the whole thing of the conscious and the subconscious, you know, so we often, when we facilitate, we speak about task 1 and task 2. So although you're already here and you're talking about certain things, in the unconscious, other things are happening. And, you know, there's connectedness and disconnectedness. And as a human being, you have these natural responses of fight, flight, freeze, you know. So I just think it's important to never think it's simple, so simple that you ignore the other things, but to make it simple in terms of the journey that you choose, but have acknowledgement, you know, that you are doing this within an environment that's a bit more complex. And now and then you have to stop and pause and say, perhaps I have to first consider this and detour a little bit, you know, before I go on. So, Ronél, I would appreciate you bringing your perspective on it, because I think also people hear things differently from different people. So perhaps you can just also give your perspective on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so the first thing when Yusuf asked the question is, why do CEOs think they need to have all the answers? I think, again, there's a legacy. A role modeling that took place in the 20th century, well, started off earlier, that if you are at the top, you need to know all the answers. But the world has changed significantly, the business world, the markets. So it's impossible to know everything. So it is about CEOs or your C-suite having an understanding that I need to let go of that role modeling, that socialization, that learnings that I was taught. It's not relevant anymore. It cannot help me. It cannot help my organization to grow faster, make decisions faster if I am the one that does it. It's around a collaboration. It's about the co-creation of decisions. And often we sit with, you call it the paradigm or a mindset, to say, but we have to do it quickly. And then we mess it up and it's going to take 10 years to fix it.
Yeah.
Versus taking it 5 minutes or an hour longer in this conversation. So for me, it's really at a practical level, I'm trying to explain it, is to say it is still how we think and how we were taught and having to let go. And if I let go, I let go of my control. Because often we think I am in control of, but actually I'm actually not. I need others. And why would you, who's the guy, is it Branson that says, oh, now I can't remember, but around why would you employ creative, intelligent people if you don't let them do what you employed them to do?
Yeah.
I can actually relax as a CEO.